Well, here we are. We're in the shop. I've got some of the strings off of it already. I just wanted to go over a couple of things. I'm going to see if I can get I'm going to grab the keys here, grab a camera. Before we get in a little closer here, I wanted to just show with some of the strings. You can now kind of see the, didn't mean to make you all get seasick there, but you can kind of see now that the flat spots on the top of the frets here, right there, it's just kind of gone flat. And so what's happened is like I said, this is my go-to bass guitar. And being my go-to bass guitar, I use this all the time. And I like to use like I said, I like to use the Ernie Ball Super Slinkies. And the Super Slinkies, being a round wound string, they tend to sand away on the frets a little bit more than most. So in the meantime, I'll go ahead and do this. So just a neat little deal. One thing I like about these pocket bridges here, I don't have to pull the strings all the way through the guitar. I can just simply take them right out of the back of this. They fit down into the bridge, and then they hang on, and they just slip right out. So it makes it nice. I'm going to hang on to these strings. So I've only used them for a couple of weeks. So they're still in good shape, and I'm probably going to I like to wear them out. Usually what happens with a good bass string is that you'll start to have problems tuning either the A or maybe the G, and what will happen is they start to unravel, bass guitar strings unravel from the inside before they break. And then they'll usually either break at the bridge or I've had them break up here at the nut too. So it just depends on how aggressive you are with the guitar. I'm pretty aggressive with mine. As you can see I got a lot of wear spot in my fretboard here, right here and here. You can see this here, this dry looking spot in here. That's actually from the round wound string, and really digging into it all. So I need to clean everything real good. That'll happen too, but I'll do that after I do the frets. So we've got the strings off of this guy. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the hairband off of here and get that out of the way too. Now I don't want to really get to taking away all of the parts first, but I want to just show you that these bridges are pretty loose. I got the strings off of this guy. We got nice flat stuff, and I'm going to go get the little pieces that go around the frets so I can show you how to do that. Okay, here we are. I got a couple of pieces here from it's StewMac, and these are nice little deals. They come with they're nice little pieces of it's like a stainless steel. It's a hardened steel, and rather than you've probably seen videos on how to crown frets before, and a lot of the videos show you getting out the masking tape and taping this up and taping that up, and the problem with that is that what happens when you peel the tape away is you get into the fretboard. These little guys I got here from StewMac, these are actually for a bass guitar. It's just a piece of steel that is flattened out. It has a nice slot in it. Comes with a rubber band, and the first thing you got to do is just kind of pick the proper one. The one for the bass comes with 4 different fret sizes. Like this one might be a little too, that looks pretty good. I mean, it might be a little too skinny. Here's one that looks like it's about right also. These guys here might be too big, a little too much play there. I don't want to get into my stuff. So these are nice little gigs. You get two of each size. They're really nice. You take the rubber band and you just basically put it through. Now, I'm sure you've seen a lot of or seen videos on how to get the crowning done. I'm just going to go through and do 1 or 2 here just so you can get an idea and see what it looks like. It's really not hard to do. It could take a lot of practice. If you're not comfortable with doing this, I would say practice a little bit. And don't be in a hurry. That's the main thing, is don't be in a hurry. You want to just kind of take it easy and go a little at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and just start at the top here. Now this one here, I can see some pretty good cuts in mine. And this guy just comes up here, just fits on here. And if I put that rubber band on there, it kind of puts that puts that piece right there in the middle. Now, when you're looking at this, and I could get the camera here and look a little better, but I don't know if you can see this in the light, but there's little divots. I've actually got divots on my first fret where I have the buzz going on, where I've got into my frets. Before I get too far on this, and I've kind of jumped a little bit, I wanted to check to see that this is all flush. And so I'm just showing you this little guy here and how it fits on there, and I'll probably just get those here in a bit. Let me get a few things. But the next thing I want to do is I want to check the true on it. I'll get my knife. I like a real good long straight edge here, and I'm going to check just to see that my frets are all the same. Now we could do it with just a little bit at a time. I've got a regular square here. I can use this, just a regular carpenter square, and it's got a nice straight edge. But the trick is I want to just check to see that the frets are about the same size all the way across. Now I've got a little bit of an arc in there, and what I'm doing is I'm just checking, I'm just running the piece across so I can see, do I actually have any frets that are higher than the other? And this guy's in really good shape. I don't have to do too much. I don't have anything where I've got any kind of a buzz. And I've got a little bit of a rock, but that's because the neck actually fits out. So to show you what I was looking at is, I'll take my guitar and set it on edge here so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm looking for. What I was doing is taking the straight edge, and I'm just running it up and down, and this is kind of a hard place to see this, but I'm just kind of running the straight edge up and down. And what I'm checking for is to check to see, do I have, for the length of this, do I have in uneven frets? And then I'm actually running it across the fret to see. And that way I'm just checking to make sure that everything is square. Now, if I've got stuff that's out of square, if I've got, say this fret's higher, or this one's lower, or this one's lower and this one's higher, or I got something like that, then I'm going to buy a radius block. I'm going to go get my radius block out. It's got a slight curve. There's different ones that are different size. Again, you can go to Stu Mac for this. And in this radius block, you would take and they would just lightly sand until you plane the whole area. I don't really need to do that. This is a really clean setup here. I am going to knock this nut loose here soon, but right now I just wanted to show you what it looks like when you crown a fret. Now, I've checked to see that I'm square. Everything seems to be all right there. I've got a longer one that's got a little bit different, and I could take a look from my longer one just to see if I got anything too weird, and I don't. It all looks good. So I'm going to get rid of my string. Now comes the fun part. I'm going to start doing some of this. I've got to get my, I've got a nice file here. And what I've done with the file here, I've taken this file and I've sanded, I've ground one side off. So it's gone. I don't have any file there. We have a regular file here. I kept the rasp, but the corner's been filed off. You can see right there at a nice edge. I got rid of that sharp edge. I got rid of all of the sanding stuff. Same on the other side. Got rid of that sharp edge. See that? And the idea is that I can lay this on here without screwing up. Now, I can take this guy here and I can just start working it, but you want to just start working it very slow, and you start from the side. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your file, and as you roll it through, you're going to just kind of roll the file over, and then you can get on the other side of it and then roll that file over as you sand it or as you file it. Got the nice little pieces of steel. They'll protect my fretboard a whole lot better than just doing masking tape. The masking tape doesn't work real well, and trying to use an aluminum tape or something, that doesn't work real well. I like these guys right here. They really saved the neck. So the first thing I gotta do is get my marker, and I'll put my stretch of steel onto the marker, or on first, and then I'll just kind of color in the top of the fret so you see it. So this has got a nice bright red mark on it. And what I'm going to do with the file, I'm going to take and put my shiny side up. I got my edge here that's shaved off, and then I'm just going to work this just a little at a time. And then the other way. And if you've never done this, take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Just a little at a time. Make sure you roll your fret all the way. And as you go, what's happening is you're actually narrowing out the stripe that you just put on your fret. And then I'm just kind of working around the radius of the fretboard, just keeping my piece of steel in place. And as I go, we go ahead and get this guy down here, and I just want to work it to where I've just got this little edge. So what I'm doing is I'm working it to where I just get this tiny little stripe right through the middle of the fretboard. Now I got a little bit more work to do here. I'm gonna go ahead and work this out a little bit, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, I've got this one just kind of done, and just to show you what it looks like, I'm gonna bring it right up close there, and you'll see that I've only got this little teeny weeny stripe right across the very top of that. I'll try and rotate this so you can see it, but you'll see that where I've got this little bright, I've got just a tiny little stripe right across the top. So I have to go through and I have to work each one of those all the way down so they just have this little stripe. I'm gonna bring it right here. You might be able to see it a little better. I don't know if you can see that, but see, I just got a tiny little stripe, and I've made that fret round again, whereas the one right next to it, you can see that the fret is kind of square on top. So I just got to keep doing that, and then I'm going to polish these all off when I get it all right. So I'm going to go ahead and work this, and then I'll go ahead and work this guy out. We're going to get this is the hard part. This is the long part. This is the tedious task. This is the one that takes a while. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working this a little bit. Again, I'm just kind of working the file and then work it around a little closer and make it just a little steeper, a little bit shallower, and not quite flat. And then go in the other side, same thing, working it just around, make it round until I get this really, really thin. And when you're doing this, and you get to doing this, you can see, basically you can see if you've got it right, just like right away. So that one's not going to buzz anymore. I got this one cleaned out. She's not going to buzz no more. We should be all right. I can get that with a little bit of polish. And I'll just go ahead and I'm going to polish that a little bit with a little steel wool, just to make it look like a shiny new fret again. So what we're going to do is put that there. We're going to grab a little steel wool. Okay, so I got my double-aught steel wool. I'm still going to leave my pad in there. And at this point, I'm just going to kind of polish the fret so it looks nice and clean, make it look like a new fret, like it hasn't been touched. Get that all done. I'll polish that just a little more. And I just want to get rid of the file marks that are on there, right? So I got that all done. I'm going to wipe that off a little bit. Okay, see? Now I got that all polished real good. And it looks like a nice new fret, like nothing's happened to it. So that's a process. I need to work this down. I've got to go through 5, 10, 15, got another 20 some odd frets to go through. That's going to take a while. I'm going to get after it, and I'll come back.